Welcome back to our channel, Soap Fans. Today is a beautiful day to dive straight into the explosive, high-stakes drama brewing in Los Angeles. The battle lines have been drawn, the secrets are spilling, and the fallout is going to be absolutely catastrophic. Let's get right into the action. The heavy mahogany door of the beach house does not just swing open. It practically explodes off its hinges. Darcy Dillon has officially arrived in Los Angeles, and she has brought a hurricane of unyielding, feral maternal fury with her. Stepping into the sunlit living room of Will Spencer's home, Darcy's eyes immediately lock onto her primary target. There stands Katie Logan Spencer, the billionaire media mogul who has spent the last 24 hours ruthlessly humiliating Darcy's daughter. The oxygen in the room instantly evaporates. This is not a polite society visit. This is a brutal declaration of war. Katie Logan Spencer is used to holding all the cards. She is used to intimidating interns, manipulating corporate boardrooms, and using her massive Spencer and Logan wealth to dictate the terms of engagement. But as Darcy Dillon steps forward, closing the distance between them, Katie's trademark smugness shatters. Darcy does not flinch. She does not cower. She radiates a dangerous, battle-hardened energy that immediately puts Katie on the defensive. Darcy's voice cuts through the silence like a serrated blade. She explicitly calls out Katie's vicious, elitist behavior. She demands to know who gave Katie the right to treat Melissa like a disposable piece of trash, like a cheap gold digger unworthy of breathing the same air as a Spencer. Katie attempts to fire back, try to utilize her usual authoritative tone, but Darcy completely steamrolls her. With eyes blazing, Darcy brings up her own deeply scarred past. She paints a vivid, terrifying picture of the life she has lived, the battle she has fought, and the grit it took to survive in a world that handed her absolutely nothing. Darcy makes it crystal clear that she has fought tooth and nail for everything she has ever had, and she will be damned if she lets an entitled billionaire heiress trample all over her daughter's heart and dignity. The psychological warfare is intense and suffocating. Darcy steps directly into Katie's personal space, lowering her voice to a lethal whisper. She warns Katie that she has no idea what true survival looks like. She vows that if Katie ever speaks to Melissa with such vile disrespect again, the consequences will be biblical. Darcy is not just protecting her daughter. She is drawing a line in the blood-soaked sand of Los Angeles society. Katie is left completely paralyzed. The sheer ferocity and unhinged determination radiating from Darcy is unlike anything Katie has ever faced. She realizes, with a cold knot of dread forming in her stomach, that she has made a catastrophic miscalculation. Katie thought she was swatting away a pesky, opportunistic gold digger. Instead, she has awakened a Leviathan. This explosive confrontation fundamentally shifts the entire dynamic of the show. This is no longer just a messy, complicated romance between Will Spencer and Melissa Dillon. This is no longer a petty squabble over who gets to date the Spencer heir. This has rapidly escalated into a life-or-death maternal war. Two fierce mothers, both willing to burn the city to the ground to protect their own flesh and blood, are now locked in a brutal collision course. Will Spencer and Melissa Dillon are caught directly in the crossfire of this escalating feud. Will, who is desperately trying to navigate his lingering feelings for Elektra and his explosive new passion for Melissa, watches in stunned silence as these two matriarchs clash. The stakes have never been higher. Darcy's arrival guarantees that the Spencer family is about to face a reckoning they never saw coming. But the explosive drama does not stop at the beach house. Across town, within the sleek, sterile, and highly competitive walls of Forrester Creations, another massive betrayal is currently unfolding. The tension in the design offices is thick enough to cut with a pair of fabric shears. Zen Forrester Dominguez has officially reached his breaking point. For months, he has been forced to swallow his pride. He watched his entire hope for the future collection get unceremoniously shelved. He endured the humiliation of being pushed to the background while the company focused on Eric's couture line. But the ultimate insult, the final nail in the coffin of his patience, has just been delivered by R.J. Forrester. R.J., the golden child, the anointed son who seems to get everything handed to him on a silver platter, has aggressively pitched a brand new youth line to Ridge and Eric. And who did R.J. pitch to lead this massive new initiative? Elektra Forrester. R.J. wants to launch Elektra by Elektra Forrester, completely bypassing Zen's years of loyalty, talent, and hard work. Zen feels a toxic mixture of betrayal, jealousy, and sheer outrage boiling in his veins. He refuses to sit back and watch his career get sidelined once again. He refuses to be the forgotten Forrester while R.J. and Elektra parade around the executive suites playing fashion moguls. Zen decides that if the company will not respect his talent, he will force them to realize the sheer incompetence of his rivals. The decision is made in a split second of dark, vindictive clarity. Zen is not going to play by the rules anymore. He's going to play dirty. Waiting until the executive floor is relatively quiet, Zen slips out of his office. His heart is pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. The adrenaline rushing through his system is intoxicating. He moves silently down the hallway, his eyes darting back and forth to ensure the coast is clear. He reaches the main design office where Elektra has been tirelessly working on her final sketches for the massive presentation to Ridge. Zen steps into the room and closes the door softly behind him. The room is dimly lit, the glow of the drafting table illuminating the intricate, beautiful designs Elektra has created. For a brief second, Zen acknowledges the talent on the page. But that acknowledgement is instantly swallowed by his overwhelming, suffocating jealousy. He grabs a specialized drafting pencil and a heavy eraser. Zen moves with calculated, ruthless precision. He does not destroy the sketches completely. That would be too obvious. Instead, he subtly and maliciously alters the core elements of the designs. He changes the hemlines, ruins the proportions, and disrupts the delicate aesthetic flow that Elektra had perfected. Zen's sabotage is a masterclass in professional assassination. He is intentionally making the designs look chaotic, uninspired, and entirely amateurish. He wants Ridge to look at these sketches and instantly conclude that Elektra is a fraud, a complete amateur who is only being propped up by RJ's golden boy status. Zen wants to publicly humiliate Elektra and completely derail RJ's ambitious corporate pitch. The physical act of ruining the sketches sends a twisted thrill down Zen's spine. Every stroke of the pencil is a strike against RJ. Every erased line is a strike against the executives who sidelined him. But Zen's dark path to revenge is about to hit a massive, terrifying roadblock. Out in the hallway, the heavy, measured footsteps of Carter Walton echo against the hardwood floors. Carter is currently drowning in his own toxic ocean of stress. He is desperately trying to manage the fallout of his catastrophic, drunken hookup with Steffi Forrester. He is terrified of Daphne discovering his infidelity now that she has returned to Los Angeles. Carter's nerves are completely fried, making him hypervigilant and highly suspicious of everything happening in the building. Carter pauses outside the design office. He hears the faint, rhythmic scratching of a pencil against paper. He knows Elektra is supposed to be in a meeting with RJ. He knows the design office should be completely empty. Carter's sharp instincts kick into overdrive. He slowly reaches for the brass handle of the office door. Inside the room, Zen freezes. The sound of the doorknob turning is like a gunshot in the quiet office. Zen's eyes widen in sheer panic. He is caught in the act of corporate sabotage. If Carter walks through that door and sees him tampering with Elektra's final presentation, his career at Forrester Creations will be instantly terminated. He will be exiled from the family, stripped of his title, and permanently disgraced. Zen scrambles backward, desperately trying to blend into the shadows of the fabric racks. He holds his breath, his pulse roaring in his ears. The door cracks open, spilling a sliver of bright hallway light across the altered sketches on the drafting table. Carter steps into the doorway, his eyes sweeping the room. The tension is absolutely agonizing. Will Carter spot Zend hiding in the shadows? Will he notice the malicious alterations made to Elektra's designs? Carter takes another step inside, his brow furrowed in suspicion. The entire future of Forrester Creations hangs in this delicate, dangerous balance. If Zend manages to escape undetected, the upcoming presentation is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Ridge Forrester is already on edge. His meetings with buyers in Monaco were a complete disaster. The company is in a highly precarious position following Hope's shocking defection to Logan. Ridge is desperately looking for a massive win to stabilize the fashion house. When Ridge looks at those sabotaged amateurish sketches, his reaction is going to be explosive. He will unleash his fury on Elektra, questioning her talent, her vision, and her right to even be in the building. RJ's massive pitch will instantly go up in flames, leaving the golden boy completely humiliated in front of his grandfather and father. Elektra will be absolutely devastated. She will have no idea how her beautiful, meticulous designs suddenly transformed into a chaotic mess. The psychological toll of this sabotage will push Elektra to the brink. Will she suspect foul play? Will she point the finger at Melissa Dillon, assuming her former best friend broke into the building to ruin her career out of spite? The paranoia and finger-pointing are going to tear the Forrester team apart from the inside out. Zend's intense jealousy has officially pushed him down a very dark, highly dangerous path. He is no longer just a frustrated designer. He is an active saboteur, willing to destroy the fragile stability of his own family's company during its most vulnerable time. If his treachery is exposed, the Forrester family will face a civil war unlike anything they have ever seen. Meanwhile, back at the beach house, the fallout from Darcy's arrival is just beginning to detonate. Katie Logan Spencer is not a woman who backs down from a fight. After recovering from the initial shock of Darcy's feral confrontation, Katie is going to strike back with everything she has. Katie will likely mobilize the massive resources of Spencer Publications. She will dig into Darcy's scarred past, looking for any skeletons, any criminal records, or any dark secrets she can use to destroy the Dillon women once and for all. Katie believes that money and influence can solve any problem, but she is vastly underestimating the sheer survival instincts of Darcy Dillon. Darcy is a woman who has nothing to lose. She does not care about high society rules, corporate etiquette, or billionaire bank accounts. She only cares about protecting Melissa. If Katie launches a smear campaign against them, Darcy will retaliate with a level of street-smart ruthlessness that Katie cannot even comprehend. Well, Spencer is going to be torn to pieces by this escalating war. He is deeply attracted to Melissa, but he loves his mother. Watching the two most powerful women in his current orbit try to destroy each other is going to push Will to his absolute limit. Will he stand up to Katie and defend Melissa, risking his position in the Spencer family? Or will he fold under Katie's pressure, proving Darcy right that he is just another entitled rich boy playing with her daughter's heart? And what about Elektra? Once Darcy finds out that Elektra Forrester physically assaulted her daughter, slapping Melissa across the face in the middle of Forrester Creations, Darcy's wrath is going to pivot directly toward the Forrester heiress. Elektra thinks she is untouchable, hiding behind the legacy of her last name and the protection of RJ. But Darcy Dillon does not care about the Forrester legacy. Darcy will hunt Elektra down. She will confront the young designer, and it will not be a polite conversation. The impending collision between Darcy Dillon and Elektra Forrester promises to be one of the most explosive, highly anticipated showdowns of the entire summer. The canvas of Los Angeles is currently a massive powder keg, and the fuses have all been lit. From the brutal, life-or-death maternal war erupting at the beach house, to the dark, vindictive corporate sabotage threatening to destroy Forrester Creations from the inside out, the stakes have never been higher. Betrayals are mounting, alliances are fracturing, and the fallout is going to leave permanent scars on everyone involved. Will Zen's ruthless sabotage destroy Forrester's future? And can Katie Spencer possibly survive Darcy's unhinged wrath? Drop your theories below, hit subscribe, and join the debate.